So I went to lunch today with some friends that I haven't seen in about a year. I for sure have been in hermit mode, healing, integrating, ascending, man and wife, and they are the most beautiful representation of divine union. And that was really, like, my eyes were so opened to that today. That's going to be a whole nother part of this message. We're going to start with the first part, and it might be more than two parts. But for tonight, this is where we're starting. So he imparted wisdom on me with two lessons. And it's funny because I don't think he realized what he was doing, what he was opening. So they went to Portugal. I'm a pet sitter for now. And I watch their cat when they travel, and they travel often. And on their trip to Portugal, they got me some beautiful jewelry, and it's made with cork. And I haven't finished looking everything up about the cork stuff yet, but the cork stuff led into the water stuff. So hang tight with me. Cork will be another part. But cork is made in Portugal. Every little piece of cork that you know in a wine bottle, a board, like one of those tack boards, all of it, every piece of cork that you touch comes from Portugal. And the process of harvesting that cork is insane. That's not this part though. I got stuck on the part of the dieback process. If these cork oak trees, that's literally what they are called, cork oak trees, if their environment is unfavorable, their external conditions and everything like that is not conducive to their growth, they literally have what's called, and this is what they call it, a dieback process. And it's literally dying from the top down. Are you with me? Hang on. It gets so much better. Okay. So as that relates to us, if we don't nurture ourselves, you see where I'm going with this? We are going to get to the point where we are going to die from the top down. So in Portugal, the landscape is literally how they are able to sustain their economy. Because if their landscape is good and their cork oak trees are flourishing, then their economy is flourishing. We will get to what the economy means in another part. So let's focus on the dieback process and the landscape. That all relates as in yourself. So we're growing up in, and this really is a message for those people who feel called to being a star seed, being a leader in this world, healing, activating other people. So what it is if we don't continue to nurture ourselves and love ourselves mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, we cannot survive the external pressures of life, which are the people, the places, the things, the generational trauma and the curses. And it's just the same for the cork oak tree. If it has unfavorable external conditions and constant external pressures that are not conducive to its growth, it starts the dieback process. And part of that dieback process is drought. If there is no water, obviously that tree cannot grow. And this was one of the lessons that he imparted on me today. Oh, this man's mind. I just want to poke at it forever. Water. The lesson in water is not only the most ancient thing on earth, it's the most powerful, and nothing can exist without it. Let that tickle your brain for a second. When God created the earth, the very first thing, I'm confident, was water. Everything has water in it, including us, plants, trees, all of creation. You have to have water in it to grow it, to nurture it. And even when the scientists have tried to replicate water in a lab, it's literally called dark water because it's contaminated. And water literally is the one thing on this entire earth that cannot be reproduced. All right, so now we've got the importance of water and how it literally is in all of creation, including ourselves. Now, if water is exposed to prolonged heat and high temperatures, see where I'm going with this now? It evaporates. It becomes water vapor. The water vapor, which now is a gas, right? And this process results in the cooling effect because most of the energetic molecules leave, okay? So the water vapor, this is such a key part to the Earth's water cycle as well as our own life cycle. Water continuously moves between atmospheres and surfaces. Your atmosphere and your external circumstances affect the external and the internal surface, your genetic makeup, your family lineage. Now comes the transformation process. The dying back to oneself in order to transform. The molecules on the surface gain more energy by the prolonged application of heat. And the higher energy molecules are able to now overcome and break the bonds. As in the bonds, everything that binds us, our trauma, the childhood and generational trauma, the religious trauma, the intimate trauma, you know what that means. All of it, okay? Now we're breaking all of that. And literally it says that they can escape the atmosphere. They have broken free. They have left that environment into a completely new one. And now we're forming clouds. And clouds, they can form quickly as well as and do over time. And it depends on their atmospheric conditions. But we're going to focus on three main ones tonight. The first one is cumulus clouds. Here's your transformation process. Cumulus clouds, those are the ones that we see on sunny days. They're buoyant, they're puffy, they look good, right? They also rapidly ascend. Now, this has a two-part meaning. Cumulus clouds also represent the people who were raised in unhealthy environments and they seem happy. These are the people who got really, really good at wearing the masks. Trust me, I know. I'm one of them. Okay, stick with me. But it's also, cumulus clouds are also going to be representing the versions of ourselves as we transform, the lessons that we learn, okay? This will tie in, I promise. All right, the next cloud is the lenticular cloud. This air is quite literally forced to rise over mountains in order to form. And when they do form, their heat does not escape. It is trapped heat, okay? The lenticular clouds, these are the people who hold all their trauma in, i.e. the same as the cumulus, who look happy on the outside, but everything's happening on the inside, right? They are the ones that are constantly invalidated in life for how they feel, what they want to say, what they want to do, etc. Okay, now we're going to thunderstorm clouds. This is where it gets so juicy. These are formed by powerful updrafts inside a thunderstorm. This causes them to form rapidly and in a towering growth pattern. These are also known as cumulonimbus clouds, known as the king of clouds, okay? So now, tower moments, are you with me? Okay? Now you have been so many versions of your cumulus self that the cumulonimbus clouds are literally made of stacked cumulus clouds. And they continue to stack in an upward motion high up into the sky like a tower. Literally king of clouds, multi-leveled. Those are all the lessons and the journey and all the really hard shit that you had to go through, but you were willing to do the dieback process from the top down in order to rebuild yourself back up. Now as a giant powerhouse. That is quite literally the verbiage that was used. Powerhouse, okay? These are the clouds and the only clouds that can produce hail, thunder, and lightning. Obviously, as well as rain, sleet, and snow. Now we are the king of clouds, okay? And it's literally the formation of rising up. And the reason that the small cumulus clouds stack on top of each other is through convection. Convection oven, heat, rise up. Okay. All of the different clouds that you've been were stacked on top. All the breadcrumbs that you thought were love, that you were trying to survive on. One day, you continue to learn, and you learn, and you learn, and you heal, and you heal, and you heal. These king of clouds, this is so cool, and the symbolism is insane. They store the same amount of energy as 10 Hiroshima-sized atomic bombs. And so as these clouds form into a tower, they also develop into an anvil shape. The same like when an atomic bomb goes off. It can also even form in cold fronts, forced to rise over incoming colder air. This is representing the people of lower vibrations and negative external factors. Now you are so strong, you are so healed, you are so in love with yourself, right? You've done the work, all the hard work, that you can rise above anything that's coming at you, okay? What's cool about this too is that thunderstorm clouds have 3 parts to it. Do you see the 3s? The first part of the thunderstorm cloud, cumulonimbus calvus, top puffy part, okay? And the water droplets in the puffy part, they have not frozen into any ice crystals yet, i.e. your heart. You never let your heart harden, okay? No matter what you have been put through, your heart always remained wanting and open to love, okay? Because you always wanted the love you never got, right? That the love you never received, all right? The next part in this thunderstorm cloud breakdown is cumulonimbus capillatus. I hope I'm saying all this right. It has very dense connective fibers, but they are contained, okay? This is the part of your healing journey where you are integrating, you are grounding, right? And it's also a sign that it's about to start raining, because in this process, the freezing process just begins in the cloud. We're at the part where the rain is just about to begin. The message I immediately got was, you are about to show up and show out. Okay. You've healed, you've done the work, you've been holding the line, the frequency of authentic love, not only for yourself, but for others as well. So now that you have mastered self-love, and if you're a little bit behind on this process, you are well on your way, okay? Don't think that I'm not speaking to you as well. And then we get to our final part of the thunderstorm cloud, the king of clouds. Cumulonimbus incus. Okay, top of the cloud is now fully fibrous and anvil shaped. Okay, I mentioned the anvil shape, and this is because of the continued growth of the cloud. And once it reaches the top of the troposphere, I hope I am saying all these words right, troposphere, once it reaches that point, and if it still wishes to grow, it must now expand. It must do so outwards, thus creating that anvil shape, okay? I don't know if you also noticed, it's shaped like a tree. Okay, the inner healing must come on the outside now. This is a huge collective that is waking up right now, and you all are about to show up and show out. We are meant to be seen, heard, felt. Our job is to literally heal mankind and create heaven on earth by continuing to expand, grow, and heal again, right? Healing is not linear. We are constantly doing this process, but the more we do it, the quicker it's going to get. I just saw 222 when I started to say that. And as we do, we will continue to also elevate and ascend. Literally, a worldwide healing will start to take place. We are mirrors. If we are healing, they have to heal. Now, they do have free will. It is a choice whether or not they want to look into the mirror and do the work. So don't discount that. But this process is causing our collective and others to rise and meet us on the same frequency. If you identify, like I do, as a starseed, lighthouse, however you want to put your own verbiage, just know this is exactly a very channeled, clear message that I got. I'm going to read it verbatim. It's all happening. It's already begun. Are you ready? Of course you are. You did the healing. But remember, we are ever changing, ever growing, ever expanding. Don't get discouraged when something surfaces that you thought you healed. Healing is not a linear process. It's constant peaks and valleys, just the same as the flow of life. If you're not doing this process, then you're flatlined. You are dead in the water, pun intended. So hold the line, because our number has been called. And I keep hearing, you're up next. It's all happening. Literally saw somebody standing and waiting in the wings of like a stage, like ready to walk out and ready to perform. Baby, you about to rain. You about to make it rain. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, that's it.